What got me into politics? Well, I would argue that we're all into politics by dint of being human beings, but some of us are more conscious of it than others, I guess. I've been involved in politics professionally actually for a very long time because I've been a disability rights campaigner for a couple of decades. I have multiple sclerosis. I've had MS since I was 19, so it's a big, big part of my life. I'm about to turn 46 now. And I worked for 12 years for RNIB, so that's working with blind people. And in particular, my area of expertise, I was a disability rights campaigner there. My area of expertise is how older and disabled people benefit or not from technology and advances in technology. So that's about inclusion, making sure that everybody is included in all the different processes that make up society. And I have a real strong sense of social justice, which is very key to the Green Party. You'll meet other Green Party members who are much more about the environment. I'm about the environment too, but social justice, people, communities, and what really get me going. Peterborough is incredibly diverse, so do come to Peterborough and experience that. I am a parish council for 2 parishes. They're next to each other and they are completely different, and their politics are completely different as well. So we have a lot of the issues that you have to deal with in a city. So we deal with issues around crime and policing, getting around the city, transport, all of these sorts of things that you would expect. But we also have highly rural areas as well. We also have many new estates that have been built to tackle the housing crisis, and those have actually got their own problems. And where we initially had a huge amount of investment in the early 70s in Peterborough, those estates, the people who moved on to those, now being there, 30, 40 years, there are different kinds of issues there. When you've got what started off being lots of single mums together, those families are grown up, they're still living there. Now what are the issues that they're tackling? So I have to work very hard as a parish councillor and as leader of the Peterborough Green Party to understand what's going on for all of those people. We also have a huge migrant worker population that we absolutely rely upon, and the city would collapse if we didn't have them there. We need to understand that people voted to leave for many, many, many different reasons. I'm not saying that people voted to leave because they didn't understand. I'm quite sure people did understand, and I'm actually very glad so many people turned out to vote. That's a real positive to take from this. We need to listen to what people's reasons are. People feel very, very strongly about our migrant workforce, for example, but why is that really? What is the threat that they feel, and how are they imagining that would be resolved after Brexit? We need to have those conversations. We're tending to get very caught up in those big headlines about it being to do with people being intolerant of others. Peterborough is not an intolerant place, and I'm sure it's not the case, with other parts of Cambridgeshire as well. For me, it all comes back to conversations. I want to talk to people on the doorstep. If they want to talk to me about how they voted in the referendum, great, and perhaps they want to tell me why they did. My job is to listen to them, not to put upon them, well, you shouldn't have done that, or you made a mistake, or did you believe what was written on the side of that bus, as some people will have done. But to listen to, well, actually, what was the meaning behind your choice to vote for you, and what could we be doing better, which would perhaps mitigate some of those fears that you have about the way in which Cambridgeshire is changing, and it is changing. We're very concerned about transport. Transport is the number one. We're concerned about how people are able to travel across the county effectively without causing huge damage to the environment. We are not all about building roads. We're about providing alternative ways to travel that includes on foot as well as on cycles, and talking to people about the different ways that they'd like to travel, because I'm not convinced that's been explored as thoroughly as it could be. So we need to talk to people about that. We need also to change people's attitude towards car sharing and how many cars that we have on the road, because this is not sustainable. The knee-jerk reaction seems to be to widen roads or have more roads. It's not all about the road. Let's think more creatively about this. We know that we're already having far more people who are working from home or working from satellite offices, so let's take a deeper look at this and see what we can do. I'll reserve judgment on what we'll be suggesting until I've had those conversations. I stress that that's extremely important. The other thing is housing. Housing for so many reasons. I live on one of these new estates in Peterborough. It's awful, to be honest. It's a nice enough house. There's no community whatsoever. There's huge arguments about parking. I don't even drive a car and I get caught up in arguments between neighbours about parking. We've allowed property developers to do what they want, haven't we? Because that's what we've ended up with. The refuse lorry can't even get on my street. Cats are getting run over. You know, these are things that really upset people in communities. So we need to be looking at what's going on these new estates, because what's going on is not good. Right through to people in rural areas. What are we going to do to make sure that people in rural areas are able to stay in these villages they grew up in? Well, that has to mean more social and council housing in rural areas. So we'll be looking at that. Please do. I welcome direct contact. I'm often up very late at night talking to residents online, so I welcome it. I'm on Twitter, so people can get in touch with me there. Howell OW Greens is my Twitter handle. It's my surname, OW Greens. You can drop me an email. You can get to me through Peterborough Green Party website. In fact, it's just so easy to get in touch with me. There's no excuses. However you feel, whether you agree with us or not, if you've got something to say that you feel that a potential mayoral candidate needs to hear, please drop me a line. I'm always listening. Thank you.